First off, thank you all for giving up some of your afternoon, for coming by on a lovely day and spending a little time with us. We wanted to come by and talk to you, but also, probably more importantly, listen and get some of the concerns that you may have as to how things are going with the state, how things are going in the area. I don't have any answers for you with regard to what's going on in Washington. I wish I did, but I'm the state senator, Jim Whelan, and I represent you in Trenton. We have a number of other elected officials who have been kind enough to come by. Our county clerk, Ed McGettigan, is here in the back, and he'll be available to answer some questions. Our freeholder, Dolores Cooper, Lisa Cooper, Dolores Cooper's daughter, Lisa Cooper is here, and the great mayor of Weymouth, Frank Craig, is sitting there on the steps. And again, they're here really for the same purpose that I am, to listen, to try to find out what you see going on and so on. The one thing that I will kick it off a little bit with is talk a little bit about the state budget and what I think, where we are with that. I mean, the good news is we have a budget, but frankly, there were an awful lot of changes that were made by the governor to the budget from what was adopted in the legislature. And frankly, a lot of them impacted senior citizens. They impacted some of the programs that I and others felt a little bit strongly about in terms of trying to take care of some of the programs that support the most needy in our state. The reality is that the process is the governor submitted a budget in February. And back in February, when he submitted the budget, the projected surplus at that time was around $300 million, which for a state our size and with the budget that we have, frankly, is not a lot of money, because we're in the neighborhood of a $30 billion budget. So you had the $300 million surplus, but between February and June, that surplus grew, depending on whose number you want to look at, up to around $600 million or even $900 million. The Office of Legislative Services projected a surplus of $900 million. We passed the budget. The legislature passed the budget based on that $900 million figure. That, quite frankly, restored some of the cuts that were in the budget with regard to senior programs, with regard to programs for children, and those who are more needy. The governor took out his red pencil, took all of that out, and then some. And some of the programs really were very, very frustrating, quite honestly. There's a cut in there of $500,000, which frankly is, again, is not a lot of money in the context of a $30 billion budget. $500,000 for a center up in North Jersey for children who have been sexually molested. And the governor took that out. Now, he since has come to his senses, and because he got a lot of criticism for it. And so, well, we have a grant that's going to take care of that. We didn't put that in the budget. One of the other cuts was a cut where the nursing homes were cut 3%. The problem with the 3% cut for the nursing homes is that it's really 6% because it was a federal match. And, you know, most of us know people or have relatives or friends that we know and love who are in nursing homes. You talk to nursing home operators, cutting them 6%, when they've been running pretty lean the last couple of years anyway, really presents a challenge to them. So there were a number of those kinds of cuts that we're still trying to get some of that money restored as we were able to with the $500,000 for the sexually abused children. Those are some of the frustrations, quite frankly, that I have with the governor. I don't want to be all totally critical. There are times that I agree with the governor. Certainly some of the things we did in Atlantic City to help Atlantic City get back on track. 200-room casino bill, the tourist district bill, what we call the deregulation bill. All of a sudden now we have 2,000 people working on the Rebel construction site. Construction workers finishing that project. When that's done, that'll employ another several thousand permanent employees at that facility. So when we think the governor's right, we're going to work with him. When it comes to creating jobs, we're certainly going to work with him and do what we can. But when some of these cuts are just so dramatic and so deep that they really impact where people live, we're going to fight with them. So that's a little bit of a summary of what has been going on in Trenton. And as I said earlier, we're really here to try to listen and get some questions and comments from you on things that may be on your agenda. So what we'd like to do is throw it open and see if anybody has any questions for us.